Little Georgie Stephanopoulos. I've had a lot of experience with him, going back to the days when I ran and founded Judicial Watch. In a case involving Filegate, that was when Hillary Clinton obtained 900 FBI files on her adversaries. And in fact, sometimes on the Democratic left, because she wanted to blackmail them and keep them under control, such as James Carville. George Stephanopoulos was found by Judge Royce Lamberth in a deposition that I took to have lied under oath. The guy is a despicable, dishonest liar. Why he has a job still at ABC, it's incredible all these years. He doesn't even have any talent when it comes to broadcasting. But he recently interviewed Congresswoman Nancy Mace and got into a fight with her on the air, reminiscent of the one I had with Don Lemon a number of years back after I got preliminary injunctions against the the Obama-Biden Freudian slip NSA. He accused President Trump of raping this woman, E. Jean Carroll, of there being a finding in court to that effect, and asked Nancy Mace how she could support him since she had been a rape victim at age 16. Really despicable to do that on national television. In any event, also another lie by Stephanopoulos, little Georgie, because President Trump was never found liable for raping E. Jean Carroll, a woman who 40 years after the fact finally remembers being represented by sleazy lawyers that pushed her to do it, financed by the Democrats, that somehow she was raped in a dressing room in New York City by Donald Trump. Anybody with any degree of common sense or an IQ over 60 could figure that one out. Now, she went in front of a New York City judge and a New York City jury, ultra leftists, a hanging jury. And of course, they found that Trump had sexually abused E. Jean Carroll, but not raped E. Jean Carroll. But watch the interview. I'm going to put it below because it tells you something about Stephanopoulos. He was in the war room that was running interference for Hillary Clinton. He was director of communications in the Clinton White House. He is a despicable, excuse the French, POS. Unbelievable. I've encountered him later, years later, at a White House Correspondents' Dinner when someone went up to him that I was there with and said, "Hey, look, it's George Stephanopoulos." And he turns around and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, it's you, Clayman." Well, he knew what the story was because I got him found to have lied under oath. And when that happened, I was called by Donaldson, I forget his first name at this point, who was doing ABC This Morning with him and said, "Larry, Sam Donaldson, did he lie under oath?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll give you the proof." But ABC did nothing about it because ABC is far leftist. And of course, this is the trash that you have to deal with in the fake news media. Let's also talk about Joe Biden, who recently said that he regretted the comments that the illegal immigrant that killed the Georgia co-ed somehow was illegal. And then he backtracks it days later. This is what you're dealing with. People are sick and tired of this political BS, for lack of a better word. In his case, in Biden's case, he's brain dead, he's stupid, he's drugged up, and he's a criminal. And he obviously has no problem with a criminal killing a Georgia co-ed because he's a criminal. Birds of a feather flock together. In fact, he's killed people himself. He ordered a drone strike after he abandoned American allies and Americans in Afghanistan, after there was 13 GIs that were killed at Kabul airport and killed 10 innocent Afghan allies, including 7 children, including a 3-year-old. Joe Biden is a murderer. And in fact, I filed a complaint with the International Court of Justice, and they're investigating that in that regard. So this is my message for today. This is why you have to support Freedom Watch. It's why we need to rise up, the American people. Do not count on politicians. Do not listen to what the fake news leftist media says, particularly someone named George Stephanopoulos. And I might add, I mean, this is a guy that lives in the closet, honestly. I've had people see him walking hand in hand in Washington, D.C., but pretends that he's not what he is in reality. And if you are gay or whatever, you should simply come forward and admit it rather than lie to the American people. It's another example of his dishonesty. This is my message for today. Go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute with tax-deductible contributions. We need your strong financial support. We are your Justice Department. The Gestapo of a Biden Justice Department does not represent you, and in fact, is trying to enslave you in a leftist dictatorship. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Thank you for listening to me.